Hi, everybody. It's Juliet Marciano from Marciano Parent Coaching. I just wanted to see how you're all holding up today. I recently got back from taking my daughter to her college dorm to clear out some more stuff. She had come home for spring break, and now that's being extended for another several weeks. So she wanted to go get some stuff. I've been hearing a lot from people, and I was just wondering how you are all holding up with what's going on. I know these are some big changes for some of you. I just wanted to stress to you, even though for some of you it feels like you're alone, because I know for parents of kids, especially with special needs and high needs and extra needs, that feeling can be overwhelming, but you're not alone. So if you need to reach out to somebody, you can reach out to me. Now would be a great time to join my Facebook group, Reclaiming the Joy of Parenting. You can join my email list. You can look for me. I will be on live, and I'm actually trying to set up something so we can have more interaction in our calls. And I will be here every day touching base with you. In our community, things have been shut down. Schools are not in session anymore. The library's closed. A lot of things are shut down, and people are trying to stay home and have social distancing. And for some people, that will be harder than for others. And parents have reached out to me and asked some questions, and I just want to address a few of those, and then we can keep talking over this period of time to see how things are going and to see how I can help you. One of the parents had mentioned that they used to go to one of the parent support groups and talk groups that I did in the community, and they are now on hold. So again, I'm going to be trying to make more of a presence here, that you can come on here and get some of the support that you need. And some of you may have felt you didn't need it in the past, but you can certainly benefit from it now. So again, join my community and we can offer you some support. You are not alone. I cannot stress that enough. You're not alone. I think that for some of you that are finding that you're not going to work and your kids are not going to school, it is very easy to kind of slip into some unstructured, routineless existence. And for many kids, that will not work. You'll find that they do need structure, they do need routine. They benefit from that greatly. So try and be up at the same time as usual, go to bed at the same time as usual, keep the bedtime routine in place like you used to, have meals and nap time and playtime around the same time. You don't need to be rigid, but you do need to understand that kids feel more secure when they have their structure and routine in place. And for some children, it is very, very important. If you don't have a bedtime routine yet, now would be a great time to start gently introducing one, because I think with these days of high stress, it's good to have a period of time in the evening to really relax and reconnect and kind of shut your nervous system down to get ready for sleep. So I think that would be something you might want to try. We all know kids who are very sensitive to missing a meal or going to bed late and missing bedtime. And I would just say to you, if you're being a little loose with your schedule and your child comes to you and says, I'm hungry or I'm tired, I would address that right away, because that may be the only way they have to give you a 2-minute warning before they lose control. These are very stressful times for kids too. And again, pay attention to when they're communicating with you, their needs, because if you can address them quickly, you may save yourself from a lot of aggravation, and you may save them from a lot of distress as it's happening. For school, I know a lot of people have had concerns because school is not in session, and I know they're setting up some kind of virtual school for most people. I can say, as a parent of 4, I've been through many different educational experiences, both routine physical school buildings, but I've also had the experience of having a child on homebound instruction, one-to-one tutoring, homeschooling I did for a few years, cyber schooling, virtual courses of different levels, high school and college, and things work out. I myself have participated in virtual classes with classmates all around the world. I do all my coaching through phone and video calls. Last week I had a great call with somebody in Singapore. So it is doable. So there will be glitches in the beginning, and the schools are trying to work that out. And hopefully things will fall into place. If you can keep your kids up on their schoolwork, great. This may be an opportunity for you to learn how your kids learn better. So if you have a child who has trouble sitting in a seat for an extended period of time, let them stand up. If they need to walk around the room while the teacher's talking, you may want to give them that leeway. In the same respect, I will say that if you find that school is being so stressful for your kids and for you, you might have to rethink how that's going to go. And by that, I mean, you are already in a stressful situation. You're already confined together in a space with no comings and goings. And what you don't want to do is make that time together just constant and unending stress. So you may have to reevaluate just how much, quote, education goes on during this period of time, because you can't make that be the thing that is constantly a source of conflict for you and your family. I know in our district, they actually said something like assignments are not mandatory. They want the kids to participate, and I'm not exactly sure of the logistics of why that statement was made, but I do know that for many parents, because I talked to parents about possibly homeschooling, and a lot of parents have said that would never work for them. They can't be present to help their kids. They can't do what needs to be done. Their child has trouble concentrating like that when they're at home. Some kids can't even do homework at home. So what I'm saying to you is, if your child is like that, don't spend this period of time adding this one more enormous stress to your existence. So if it turns out that the educational component has to, the requirements have to be relaxed a little bit, you can be okay with that. The other thing I wanted to say is a lot of parents are concerned that their kids will get behind academically or lose services that they get in school. And I can only say to you, we don't know what's going to happen, and we don't know how long this will last. And I would suggest that you just not spend time worrying about that. We don't know. And to worry about it now is just going to cause you more stress in an already stressful time. So I would try to let that go. Again, and the schools are scrambling to figure this out, so don't expect them to have everything figured out today, Monday, Wednesday. But if this continues for a period of time, the more time they have, the more time they're going to be able to get in place what needs to be done. I've also seen a lot of schedules online of like a typical school day, and I have to say, you can use that as a guide, but the one thing that none of them seem to include is any kind of interaction with other kids. And I don't mean play dates, because I'm not necessarily sure that's a good thing. We're waiting for recommendations on that. I mean social interaction. When your kids are in class, they're sitting next to their classmate, they're chatting as they walk down the hallway, they have lunch together. You are going to need to make time for some social interaction, whether it's FaceTiming, online gaming, monitored, with their friends, whether it's Netflix watch parties together, again, virtually. One kid's on their device, the other kid's on their device, and they can chat about it or text about it. You may find they actually even start having conversations on their phones. But I do think that we do have to consider that for kids that go to school typically and have interactions with other kids, or they play on sports teams and they have interactions with their teammates, and they're not going to have those interactions anymore, they really do need to somehow maintain a social interaction without a physical interaction. So keep that in mind when you do your scheduling, and keep that in mind throughout the course of the day. And don't disregard those small interactions that kids have because you don't see them, you don't realize how important they are. They are important to them. And for you, if you're a person who typically leaves the house and gets out into the world, same for you. You're going to need to find a way to have social interactions too. And please make room for that in your schedule and in your life. If you're not able to leave the house and you're not able to be with other people, you do have to find a way to reach out and connect without leaving your house. A lot of parents have mentioned to me how sensitive they are to the feelings of others, whether they call themselves empaths or highly sensitive people, or just kind of in tune with others, what they're feeling. Your kids can sometimes feel that way too. And so you do have to protect your space, your mental and emotional and energetic space, whether that means shutting off the news, whether that means not talking to people if they're just going to constantly talk about the same thing, um, raising your distress level. For your kids, they're going to pick up on your vibes. So again, if you're upset or anxious or nervous, they're going to pick up on that. So I usually tell my own kids and the people that I work with, you have to have this protection of your space. Don't let people bring you down, basically. Okay, so you do need to respect that, and you do need to find ways to recharge and to relax and to take care of yourself. And in that respect too, physical activity is very important. And for some of you, you can't leave if you live in an apartment or you live someplace where you can't get outside, that can be an added challenge. Put on some music, have a dance party, jump around, do goofy stuff with your kids. They need to get their physical activity in. They need to release some physical energy, and so do you. If you can get out in nature, all the better. But I know a lot of people have told me they have apartments, they can't really go in and out as much as possible, or they live in places where the weather doesn't accommodate that. Where I live, today was a gorgeous day. So many people were outside. It was wonderful. So I think that if you can do that, try and do that, and things hopefully will go more smoothly for you. My final message for today is to single parents out there. I know that being a single parent in my book is actually considered an extra need. If you're a single parent, you'll probably agree with that. If you're not a single parent, you may not understand that. But being a single parent, especially in a family with high needs and special needs, is really challenging. And under these kinds of circumstances, it can be even more so. So I am a single parent. I know what it is. You make every decision, every chore or task has to be done by you or delegated by you or assigned by you. There's a lot going on, and you're the only adult in the household that can work through with your kids the challenges that they're facing, calm their fears, reassure them, deal with whatever uncertainties they have. And this is for life, not just in these emergency situations. And at the end of the day, sometimes it's really hard to not have that partner to say, wow, that was a rough one. We aced that. We got through it. Or we had a great day. That was a really great parenting day. I loved being with the kids today, or whatever. And so you don't have that person. You also don't have somebody to run your ideas by. You don't have somebody to address your fears with. You don't have somebody to process with. And again, if you're feeling really lonely at the end of the night, or you're feeling you just want somebody to kind of help you process what happened that day or what's going on, reach out. I'm up pretty late, so post something in the group. I'm sure other people will be up and we can address that, but just know that you are not alone. I know this is a rough time. I know we're going to get through it. I just want you to know there are a lot of people out there willing to help, and you're not alone. And if you need anything, please reach out to me, and I will be talking to you tomorrow. This is Juliette Marciano from Marciano Parent Coaching. I hope you have a great day.